Hello everybody. So today we're going to keep working on the 360 Elite. We've got it down to the bare motherboard so we can clean it up. Already vacuumed and kind of dusted, except for obviously where the heat sinks were. I just took those off. So we're looking at how there's not much compound right where this chip was on either one. You can actually see I haven't cleaned them yet. And right here, so that's definitely not good. Obviously this one was working fine still, but I'm going to get that cleaned up and make sure there's a good amount of paste right on the center of the chips that gets spread out evenly. So we're just kind of scraping off the old stuff now, and then we'll get some isopropyl alcohol, clean those up, maybe clean some of the other spots up here and finish dusting it, and we'll put some new paste on, get these heat sinks back on. Alright, we got the new thermal paste on, got the heat sinks back on, motherboard back in the chassis, the X-clamp screws back in, got all the motherboard screws back in now. We're going to put the fan back in, got it cleaned up. Before we do that, we're going to throw this 3-pin connector in, or splitter actually. Got our fan in, connected to this. Now we do have to rearrange these wires here because the Xbox has them different than a standard 3-pin. So I can either change these around or the ones on the fan. I'd rather just do this one because I have several of these splitters. Now we're going to put in the fan tunnel. Actually, hold on. I'm going to use the clear one. It just fits right over here. Alright. And then the DVD drive, but we're going to stop here because we're going to do some wiring. We're going to change this. We're going to get our 12 volts from the DVD drive. Whether I'm planning on using it or not, which I do, we're going to either do the UV strip or maybe see if I can do the cold cathode. If I go that route, I do want to switch for that because you don't really just want that on just all the time, I guess. And then we're going to, when you turn it on, it will inflate. You'll kind of see it going up and down our DVD drive in. So, yeah, we'll have those 12 volts there, and then once we're done with the wiring, then we'll move on to, I guess, taking this fan back out because I will want to paint it. We'll see what we have to mask off on that to make it work, and then we're going to be we'll just take the top shell off, leave this clear piece over so that no paint is getting inside, and then we'll just have to tape off that spindle from the bottom side just to make sure there's no overspray on it. But let's finish the wiring first. We are going to still be waiting on a ring of light board, but I'm sure by the time we're waiting on all the paint to dry, that'll come in, so we'll just use the other one for now. Oh, and before we go any further, we will have to clean up the case itself. This had that Turtle Beach sticker on it. You can see how clean it is right in that oval. But this one has a lot of, it looks like it had a bunch of other stickers on it. So I'll get that cleaned up. What's going on, everyone? Today we're continuing on the 360 Elite, the world's cheapest 360, which is no longer the case, but we're starting off painting today. So we got the DVD drive cover and the fans over here, which I have meticulously masked off very haphazardly, and I also have the fan tunnel over here. So what we did so far was we put just a white primer over the fan and the DVD drive, just so they had a white base before adding in the glow-in-the-dark, which this time we are using, nope, that's not what we're using. This is what we're using, glow-in-the-dark Max, 2 times as strong. Didn't think it was necessary, but now that I know this exists, yeah, it could be stronger. So that's what we sprayed on here, 2 or 3 coats, pretty heavy on this one and this one. And then for the blood effect, I used some of this caliper paint. It's just a very kind of blood red, I think. And then I used a piece of cardboard here. I literally just sprayed it in that one spot until it dripped off and kind of gave it a few shakes like this. Did it over the fan. I think it looks pretty cool, especially how some of it kind of ran down. DVD drive over here, and I think it looks really cool on the clear fan tunnel. Now this one we probably will just leave like that, let it dry. I don't really see a reason to clear coat it or try to mess with the actual, see-through plastic on there, which is already kind of a crystal clear. On these we will be, well actually the fan as well, I don't really see a reason. You can tell it's not the most covered paint job on this, and obviously the sides won't really be at all. It's not masked off perfectly. You're not really going to see it very well. You'll just kind of be able to see the blades a little bit through the fan tunnel, through the fan, the 200mm fan on the side of the case. So you'll be able to see it enough where it, you can tell the blood splatter on there, and it'll definitely glow. So we've got our light here. Let's go ahead and turn these lights. Now it is still kind of light out, but might be able to tell a little bit on the camera, but it already seems to be glowing a little bit. But we'll go ahead and put our UV light on it. And honestly, it does seem, I don't know about twice as strong, but it definitely seems to glow very well. It kind of fades off a little quicker than the other one, but obviously in the dark it'll still glow very vibrantly. Try our fan over here. So, oh yeah, definitely a nice glow. So it should look pretty cool when the system is on and off. And yeah, we're going to move on to the shell, let these dry. I got to clean the shell up so we can get a flat black primer on that and see what we're going to do with that. Alright guys, I realized that I still need to cut out the hole for the fan before I get the one side panel prepped for paint. So we're probably going to cut that tomorrow as it's getting late, but before we end the day I'm going to put some clear coat on the DVD drive. Obviously I'm not putting any on the fan tunnel, like I said. It already kind of has like a glossy finish. And I'm not going to put any on the fan. There's just no point. Not really going to see it. Just painted it so you can kind of have the effect through the fan tunnel. But so we're going to put this on, and then we're probably going to pick this back up tomorrow, but it will still be this video. So I will see you in many hours, but it will only be a 1 second. Just kidding, we're still here. Okay, now I literally just sprayed it. Really gives it just such a cool effect. It almost has some of the drops kind of bled out a tiny bit as I painted it. Just makes it look very real, very fresh. And we'll go ahead and turn this light off real fast and see if it's going to glow just from this one light in the garage. Oh yeah, so you can definitely see it. It still looks pretty cool. Alright, we'll be back to cut out the side for the tunnel and then get those pieces ready for paint. Alright, it's the next morning. A little deja vu here as we cut out another side panel for a 200mm fan. It's going to be exactly the same as the last one. I think I have it mounted a little bit lower than the other one was. The other one I think went up into this grit vent here a little bit. I wanted this a little lower just so you could see more of the fan and fan tunnel. So, like I said, same thing. I'm just cutting out this big circle. I'm going to cut along this dotted line to leave this here so that we can drill our holes to mount it. And we'll be back when this is done and ready for paint. Alright, we got this cut out. Got the holes drilled for the fan. Got both sides just kind of scuffed up down with a 320 grit. And we're just going to paint them with this flat black primer just to start off. Gonna let that dry. I normally don't put it on that thick, but this is just primer. It's 2 times ultra cover, just whatever. It's just to see if we can fill in some of the imperfections and stuff there. Then we'll put another coat of something cooler on top. Alright, we let this coat, it's dry to the touch. Not totally cured, but it does dry, it says, in like half an hour, so very smooth. This is an excellent primer. So I'm going to put one more little coat on there, make sure it's all good, then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, I just went over it with this color shift. Apply over black. Take a look at it here. I think it looks pretty cool. So in the light it should be a lot crazier. It doesn't come up super great on this camera. Kind of dark in here. But we'll see if we need to put another coat of it on there. It seems to cover very well. And then we'll probably use that same lacquer over to finish it up. And then we'll let it dry, cure, and start messing with it again tomorrow. Alright, so part of the reason I haven't done the reveal video of the purple raindrop effect Xbox yet is because I still wasn't sure about the top and bottom vents. I actually want to use the white ones here for, or not these ones specifically, but the white one with the windows for the Grand Theft Auto Xbox. And I really want to use this purple, anodized purple, which is what I used for the raindrop effect. I just, obviously just misting it on, it looks kind of like a fuchsia pink purple. But the ends, I'm actually just going to paint this solid color. And then we're going to keep the window with the blue LEDs in it. That's going to go back on the first Xbox we did. And the other one here for the Grand Theft Auto, we're going to either do some kind of color match with the faceplate or just do white. And I'm going to do the same thing, cut a window out in another drive I have and put probably red LEDs in it to match everything else in there. So, just showing you now, I put a layer of the flat white primer on these. This little button there. And then we're going to paint it purple. So we have the other stuff painted. We'll show you that in the reveal with the purple in a later video. But right now I'm going to show how to do a custom hard drive cover. So you just take these off. There's 4 screws. There's a warranty sticker under one of them. And then this top just slides right off. Now I should mention this one's already been cut. This would have a piece going across here. I cut that off since it's going to block where our window will be. And now you can cut this entire thing out if you wanted to, but I think it looks a lot better to just follow this original design here. It looks like it is supposed to be like that. So we're just going to take our Dremel, follow this oval all the way around, obviously leaving a little room on the inside right here. And then we need to cut these back 4 things off here, and then also smooth out these 2, and that's so that we can leave our plexiglass nice and flat on there. Just like that. Got those things cut off. We'll switch our bits here and then actually sand it down, and we'll probably go from this side and just use this line that's already here as a reference point. We'll get as close as we can and then just kind of sand it by hand to get it close. And then same with this here, we want to smooth out this back side and those 2 things there, and make sure all the burrs are nice and smoothed out. And then like I said, you'll have to cut this bracing off here, which is structural, but obviously when it's all together it's just not going to matter at all. So we'll finish this up, and then we're going to paint these for the Grand Theft Auto Xbox, and that one should be just about done, besides a little bit of wiring. There we go, got it cut out, kind of sanded down. We kind of sanded by hand to get these last little bits. And that's about it. You can see why we cut this part that goes across off. Got a nice flat surface all around to put the plexiglass. But we'll go ahead and paint this, put the plexiglass in. Probably going to do the same thing with the, I did with the DVD drive, and do the white, glow in the dark, and some blood splatter on these top and bottom vents. Yeah, and then that one will be pretty close to done, except wiring in some LEDs. Okay, we got our top and bottom pieces, hard drive cut out, everything's got the clear coat. Gives it a nice shine to these blood drops, kind of look fresh. So in the hard drive there's a wire harness for all different colors, mostly blue. But there is a distinct yellow and a distinct black wire. That's your 5-volt positive and your ground. So we hooked up 2 wires to those, and I just got these 5-volt UV LEDs. So there's one here and one on this end, and we're just testing that out real quick. Perfect. Got that one. That one's lit up. And then try to hide these wires a little bit, or find a way to cover. You know, it's cool to see inside, but with these wires it's kind of a little weird. Maybe we'll try to do like a frosted window there. That might also help disperse the light a little bit. But yeah, looks like we got it working, so we'll pop this back off, get our acrylic piece, and then this one's pretty much done. I am still waiting on the ring of light LEDs to change these out. So right now, got rainbow, it's like red, green, yellow, blue, which, I mean, doesn't not go with this, but I prefer the red with a white ring around it. I think would be the best. So, alright, that's pretty much it for this one. Like I said, you can get sheets of acrylic, you know, Ace Hardware, stuff like that. They just cut it out for you for a few bucks, a little sheet. And I like to go to Hobby Lobby as well. They got the real thin one that's just easier to fit in places. So you just kind of cut it out to the shape you want to fit in there on the bottom, and then I just hot glue it in place. And then this guy will be pretty much done. I'll show you a little bit of this. I got the fan installed there. You can see the blood on the fan tunnel, see-through. Got our glow-in-the-dark fans. They're glowing a little bit, so we got our UV strips in here. And same with the DVD drive. So stay tuned. We will have the final video of this one all complete coming up soon. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment, like. See you in the next video.